Career growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you know how career growth actually works. Welcome back to my career growth series, where I am walking you through practical career growth strategies that actually move the needle, especially if you want to work intentionally rather than simply working harder and hoping that it pays off. Today, we're talking about upskilling. And listen, there's a lot to unpack because so many people are approaching upskilling all wrong. Upskilling is not about simply collecting certifications or badges for your LinkedIn profile, despite what some people might have you to believe. Upskilling is about reducing your risk of being overlooked and increasing your leverage in rooms where decisions actually get made. Let's start with what upskilling is not. Upskilling is not about taking random courses because they sound impressive. It's not about collecting certifications to add to your LinkedIn profile. And it's certainly not about doing more work with hopes of being noticed. Upskilling is all about deepening your skills that align with where you're heading. It's about expanding how you think, decide, and influence. It's about closing the gap between your current role and where you're heading. Which, side note, if you've never completed a skills gap analysis, the time is now. I'm including a link to a simple template in the description to get you started. Because here's the thing, and it's an unpopular truth, but you are likely going to need to operate at the next level prior to making the leap. And that may be a hard pill to swallow because sometimes they're not paying you for that next level role. I know I've mentioned my promotion on this channel, and the thing is, I was directing strategy and operating as an owner rather than a contributor prior to that promotion for director. And I often get asked the question of where do you draw the line between demonstrating promotion readiness and being taken advantage of? And so I'll probably make a separate video to talk about the green flags versus the red flags when it comes to demonstrating this promotion readiness. But for now, let's stick to upskilling and what it is and how to do it. Okay, let's dive into 3 types of upskilling that work. Okay, so first is role level upskilling, and these are skills that are necessary to perform whatever your next desired role is. So, for example, if I am a project manager today and I want to be a program manager tomorrow, there are likely skills that I need to gain and demonstrate in order to be able to be successful in landing the next program manager role. This is where that skills gap analysis is going to come in handy. You're going to identify the skills necessary for the next level role, give yourself a score for how you feel you currently perform with that skill, then pick 1 to 2 focus areas. The thing is, you don't need to try to solve for everything, but you absolutely want to give yourself a fighting chance. And so for the 1 to 2 focus areas, you are going to identify training, experience, and key knowledge necessary to close that gap. And so the next type of upskilling is communication upskilling. Clearly explaining your impact and influencing without authority live here. As you elevate, your communication will need to elevate as well. For example, as an entry-level professional, you often communicate your career growth based on output. So I completed this project. I facilitated this onboarding. I created this standard operating procedure for our workflow. But as you move to more mid to senior level roles, people care a lot less about what you did and much more about the impact that you had. Influencing without authority also tends to live here because communication is a main driver of influence. When you communicate clearly, balancing authority and care, people are much more likely to listen. Okay, so a third key type of upskilling is business acumen upskilling. I'll be creating a separate video diving into all of the details here, but if you are a mid-level professional, this is where the magic happens. When you're able to connect your work to the business outcomes, not just simply your team goals, this is when the possibilities become endless for you. As you climb throughout your career, you'll notice that the conversations are just different. For example, many times CEOs think in revenue. They want to know, is the business making money? And if so, how are you helping to contribute to the business making money? And the reality is, unless you are in sales or another revenue generating role, it's probably not as straightforward to connect your work to dollars. This means that you truly need to understand the business and how the business makes money in order to understand how your role is connected to that. Again, I've got an entire business acumen video coming soon. Okay, so quickly diving into how to upskill. Now, there are numerous ways, but I am just going to rapid fire walk you through 6. Okay, so first, participate in company sponsored training programs. If you skipped over the learning and development portion of your benefits, I need you to go back and review, because it's likely that your company offers trainings that are paid, or you may have a learning and development fund that you can use at your discretion to identify trainings to participate in. At the end of the day, use that money, y'all. It is there for this very reason, for you to learn and develop. The second way is through mentorship. Now, this can be someone at your job or someone outside of your job. Mentorship absolutely matters. You need people in your corner who can provide you with feedback, who can help you see additional growth opportunities, who can just really be that sounding board for you as you are thinking through new things that you want to approach. The third way is through hands-on stretch projects. Raise your hand to take on a project that is outside of something that you would normally do. So maybe it's assisting a team outside of your department so that you can leverage your skills to assist them, but you also get the opportunity to learn more about their department and how they operate. The fourth way is through industry engagement. I'm talking networking and events. So getting outside of your home, outside of your normal work environment. Sometimes meeting with other people can teach you more in an hour than an entire course or an entire book could teach you. And so it is so valuable to connect with other professionals in your industry. And so the fifth way is a way that a lot of you upskill today, and it's through virtual courses and certifications. Need I say more? In this digital age, the opportunities are endless. Anything you want to learn about, there is a course, I am sure, and likely a certification for it. And last but certainly not least, there is microlearning, which is my new favorite way to upskill. And here's how I personally approach microlearning. I pick a focus area for the month. Yes, the entire month. And so let's say my focus area is data analysis. I then learn about data analysis for 10 minutes daily. This could be reading an article, watching a quick YouTube video, finding a training relevant for data analysis, but I spend 10 minutes on it daily. No less, no more, just 10 minutes. Okay, maybe give or take a minute or two if we want to be very prescriptive, but the intent is that it is a short micro learning. Then I apply what I've learned for 1 hour each week. And so 10 minutes daily learning, 1 hour of applying. This way, I'm ensuring that I don't just learn a lot of stuff that I'd never get the opportunity to apply. And if you don't use it, you tend to lose it. And so with micro learning, you learn, then you apply, and it's my new fave. Now, while I hope that you've taken a lot away from this upskilling video, even if you just take micro learning, because again, my new fave, even if you just take micro learning as your next step, I love it. And I feel this entire thing was worth it. Okay, so I wanted to keep this brief and super practical. So let me know in the comments what you are taking with you. And if you found this video to be helpful, please share it with a friend who might need to learn a bit more about upskilling themselves. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe and tune in to the rest of my career growth series. Until next time, friends.